Yahoo! Welcome back to Video Game Figure Collector, and as always, it is me, your Pinoy otaku in Japan but not in Tokyo, Hage Potato. And for this episode, this review, we will be checking out the Super Mario Standard Figure series, and this is the complete set. And if you're oops, there goes Wario. Anyway, and if you're wondering where the last piece is, which is Waruigi, here it is. Okay, and before we open up Waruigi, let me just explain that I have been collecting this series since I found these two, which I have bought them loose, and that is the reason why there are some damages and there's a lot of dust right now because we bought them second hand, but that would not be affecting the review because they are gonna be I'm gonna base off my review on regardless of the paint chips. So first and foremost, I bought Mario for 280 yen, the same as Luigi. I bought them at the same time. And then I bought Wario for around 400 yen. And the most expensive one, which is to be expected since Waruigi has a cult following and there's not a lot of figures for Waruigi, and I bought him for 780 yen, 858 yen including tax. So starting up, let's check out the Wario figure first. By the way, all of these figures come with a plain white base, and underneath the base you could just see Nintendo made in China. That's all there is to see there, and just some white knobs at the top. And one of the things that I really dislike regarding plain white base, especially when the figure has a very iconic logo like Mario, Luigi, Wario, and Waruigi, is they could have just placed the logo on the base and everything would be 1000 times better. Anyway, starting up the review with Mario, do not mind the dust. Anyway, as you can see, there is a very noticeable seam line on the top of his nose, but when you display him, it doesn't really show that much. And as the seam line on his arms are noticeable if you look at them up close but not far away. This is just due to the damage because I bought it second hand loose, so do not mind that part. Otherwise, it is a pretty solid figure. Even without the base, it stands. And let's check out Luigi next, and same with Mario. He has a very noticeable seam line on the top of his nose, but at the front, there is a seam line, but it's not that really visible, so we should not really mind it. Same with the seam line here. And good thing about Mario and Luigi is both of them are cast, or rather sculpted, without any loose parts on them, which is a huge contradiction to Wario. As you can see here, he falls off easily without his base, but I think that's only because we put it here in the grass and it still wobbles when we put him. We make it stand without the stand. So as you can see here with Wario, his hands needs to be placed, or rather needs to be attached to the figure itself. Here's a close-up with the hand. Oh, I'm sorry. Here's a close-up of his hand. There you go. Here's the other one. You can see that there is a seam line up there. And there is a huge seam line at his mouth. And his mouth somewhat looks like a Titan from Shingeki no Kyojin. And look at this big bubble butt. Bubble butt. Sorry. Anyway, I really like the Wario figure a lot since this is how he looks in Wario Land, and I really like the Wario Land games, even the Wario Land Shake It for the Wii. So let's attach his hands. It just comes, it snaps on right like that, and no, it has no problems when it's connected. And look at that pose, it's just so glorious. Anyway, let's attach the figure on the stand. Mm, it's, I think I place it, yeah. Oh, there you go. See, that's what I have been talking about. If you put him on his stand, it looks a little bit awkward and it does not really look glorious anymore. I think it's in reverse again. There you go. And trying to put Luigi on his stand. I always put them in the reverse. Anyway, 343 on the. Okay, those are how they look like. Now, time to open up Waruigi. And here's Mr. Scissorkin. Anyway, let's check out the box. By the way, all based on the search I did in Google, all of the boxes of the loose figures also look like this. There is just some slight difference in the front, but it's still Mario and Luigi up there. You could still see Super Mario standard figure out at the front. Then you would see the rest of the series on the side. There's Wario and Waruigi. There's the complete set at the back part of the box. And Mario and Luigi on the other side. So let's open this one up. Oh no! I thought they put the sticker on the outside, or rather in the plastic part of the box. I really hate it when they put the price sticker on the box itself because there's a tendency that it would get damaged. Anyway, I think it's still a brand new quality since there's still a tape here, but we will see. Oh, there's more tape. When we buy figures from secondhand stores, they tend to be brand new quality when they are still in the box. Okay, there it is inside. It's all snow is nasty in its plastic case. Oh, I think this is brand new quality since there's still the plastic seal on it and there's still some tape on here. Mmm, I love that sound. Still plain white base. Oh, this one I do not like. When we can see that there is a stand included here, it mostly looks it drastically changes the illusion of the figure when we see a stand like that sticking out, and sometimes those stand actually gets inserted in the backside of the figure, but luckily the whole figure is just in one piece, so looking good. Anyway, let's check for seam line. I could already see a seam line here. You could see it in the legs, but luckily it's in the bottom part. But we could still see some seam lines here. Since the color is dark purple, it's a little bit excuse me, it's a little bit um not that visible. Anyway, there's the waruigi sign or insignia or his icon. Mm, there's seam lines on his nose, his very iconic nose. Well, when we're looking at it on the front side, it's not really that noticeable, but still seam line. And there's already a damage here on the sport, even though it's brand new quality ish. Okay, time to assemble it. Don't you just love that snapping sound? It takes a little bit of force to snap a Waluigi on his base. Well, I don't think this is actually needed since he could stand fine with without this part, but I'm still gonna put it so that you would be able to see how it looks like. It looks kind of awkward with this part. Does not really look that good. I would actually want to display it without that extra part, but the whole would look awkward. I would recommend, if you know how to paint this, I'd recommend painting their icons on their bases. Anyway, that's okay, time for the size comparison. The size comparison is the Wario with the Wario amiibo, and as you could see, there is a huge size difference when we are comparing it to the amiibo. So, but I would still recommend getting the amiibo for Wario simply because this is the figure with his WarioWare outfit, which is the most fun micro collection of micro games there is out there, especially the GBA ones, the Game Boy Advance ones. And here is Wario with his Mario, excuse me, with the Mario amiibo. And as you can see, it is a mirror of his amiibo counterpart. And as for the Waruigi figure, and it is so expensive. I could not. Sadly, yes, I could. I also could not believe it myself. I do not have it yet. Now here it is compared to a Funko Pop inside a box. As you can see, it's just a little bit shorter than the Funko Pop box. And here it is with a standard copy of a Switch game. As you can see, the game is taller than him. Here it is with a special edition of Mario Odyssey. And lastly, here it is with an entry grade Gundam, and this is the best comparison I could do with its size in regard, since it is exactly as tall as the entry grade Gundam. And here is a pullback shot of the figures on top of my TV rack. As you could see, even though they're not that big, you could clearly see them because of their iconic looks and their iconic insignia. Okay, time for my final thoughts and my grade for these figures. They are very sturdy. I like their colors. They are very vibrant and they do portray what they look like in the games. Plus, they are of decent size and they are very noticeable when you put them on display. So it's 4 out of 5 for me, simply because they are cheap for what I got them for, and as I could see from the pricing online, they're cheap everywhere. And that is it for this review. Hope you all enjoyed it, and I do recommend getting this set. Have a great day. This geek is out of here.
Thank you so much for watching. Click down below for more content, and this geek is out of here.